Hi, I'm Adam from Bosch and I'm here today with my friends from Test for Less. Okay, first tool we're going to look at is this machine here. Okay, this is the IDS 18V 125T. So this machine, as you can see, is an industrial wrench. It has a 3/8 inch friction ring at the front, which will obviously take your sockets. Simple as that. The reason why you'd probably choose these machines over your standard power tools is a number of reasons. One, it's going to be a hell of a lot more precise than using standard construction power tools, which we also offer. That's going to mean that whoever buys this machine will end up hopefully having it 5 times longer in their industry than a standard professional power tool. The other main concern is torque accuracy. So these tools are designed to run to a specific torque rating. As you can see at the bottom, there's a plus and minus for your torque settings. So there's 9 presets already loaded on the tool. All you have to do is toggle through the plus and minus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the reason that there's 9 presets is because every job is going to require a different torque accuracy, whether that's automotive, two-wheelers, heavy machinery, engine building. Each fastening is going to have a different torque rating. So there's 9 presets loaded on. The idea being that this will run an auto shut-off from 5 to 70 Newton meters, and it has a max torque rating of 180 Newton meters. So depending what torque you need on that fastening or that joint, the preset will allow you to go up different levels. You will then be able to use a torque wrench to actually see what torque that would be on the fastening, and then set the machine to that particular rating, and then it's calibrated. The other thing you'll notice is they're a lot smaller than your standard power tools. So the head length is smaller, the handles are a lot slimmer than professional power tools, and the weight is also a hell of a lot less. This one actually weighs only 1.1 kilograms without a battery. You'll also notice that on this machine there is a 2 amp hour battery, which is more than enough for this machine. This should hopefully give you around about 2,000 trigger pulls. Okay, there's a couple of other functions and features on the machine. First of all, you've got an enhanced gearbox, something again which is going to be better than a standard power tool. You've also got a much more robust switch here, something that industry is going to require because of the amount of use it gets on a day-to-day basis. So realistically, buying an industrial tool is going to mean that you are it's going to be less maintenance, less downtime, less time that the machines could be in for repair or service before you have to change any parts on it. They're also slightly cheaper to buy than a professional power tool, and as I said, much more of a robust machine. So the machine also runs in sync with an app on Bosch Professional website. This is called PRO360, something you can download for free from the Google Play Store or the App Store on Apple, and it runs off NFC. So you'll see on the side here there is an NFC logo. What we do, we take our phone, we open up the app, and all the details will be loaded onto the app for you. This will be the serial number, the product code, your invoice can be loaded on. You can also run inventory and asset management. It will give you the ability to schedule maintenance, repairs, and any services that need to be done. But also, once it's held near to the NFC logo, you can actually change some of the settings on the phone itself. One of the most important ones that a manager is going to want to use is a torque lock. So that basically means the machine can be set to a particular torque. It can be on the production line for that particular fastening or joint. And then as it's been locked, the engineer or operative can't mess around with any of the functions. It's locked to that torque rating. It's then good to go on that joint until the administrator changes it. You can also turn the buzzer off. You can also see a journal of all the shut-offs that it's done and all of the misfires that it may have had in its lifetime. So this is going to be important if joints have not been secured correctly, or if they have been secured correctly, there can be a log of all those. A machine like the IDS 125 is going to be really good in the solar industry. Okay. As we all know, the solar industry is a booming industry at the moment. It's something that's going to require precision and a lot of torque accuracy.
The main challenges that we have is obviously you've got on the first fixing, so on the mounting system on the actual roof itself, they come with a rubber membrane. So if you torque it too tightly, that will cause that seal to break and it leads to obviously roof leaks. Vice versa on the panels, we've got a different type of, you've got to get your clamping zones and your mounting on the actual fixing accurately, otherwise it creates different pressures on the panels. Which leads to obviously different areas of the panels breaking and then causing micro cracks.
The machine can cover a variety of applications, whether it be the mounting system assembly, module fastening, electrical component installation, all the way down to torque accuracy and quality assurance, and then the ongoing maintenance of the solar site. So with the ability to preset and obviously have that torque set to particular ratings, it means that the administrator then can go back and run a log after a day's work or a week's work and actually see whether all of the joints and fastenings on the actual solar site have been done accurately or not, and then can mark each one off as they go. Again, as the solar site is up and running, you can then use the machine to then go back and tighten up any joints that have either come loose or need further fastenings. Okay, the next machine we're going to look at is this model. So this is the IDS 18V 200T. Okay, slightly bigger than the previous machine, and the main difference being this has a 1/4 inch friction ring. Okay, again, it will take sockets straight on the front to run a number of applications. Again, industrial, being automotive, solar sites, two-wheelers, tractors, trucks, heavy machinery, anything like that, the machine is geared up to do. You see on this machine, we have a slightly bigger battery. This has got one of our expert 18-volt 4-amp batteries. Going to deliver more power and more runtime. Ideal for this machine really because of the amount of torque that's required out of the machine, and obviously the amount of runtime that you'll get using a 4-amp battery. So this has an auto shut off anywhere between 30 and 140 Newton meters and a max torque rating of 300 Newton meters. So as you can see, fits quite nicely in the hand. Again, it's got the slim grip handle, much slimmer than your usual professional power tools, such as an impact driver or a combi drill. Still lighter at 1.2 kilograms without the battery. And again, a smaller head, especially for getting into tighter places and if joints and fastenings are located in difficult positions. The smaller head and the lighter weight gives you more durability and more access. So the idea is you set the machine, again with 9 preset torque ratings. This will allow you to program the machine to whatever torque rating that fastening is. It's preset onto the machine, it's locked, again using the app which we'll show you in a minute. You then run down and it will give you a buzz and a light at the back to let you know whether that fastening has hit the torque setting that it should or shouldn't. So you'll get a green light to say it was a good fastening, red light means it failed, and amber means you didn't complete that fastening. Again, on the bottom we have a HMI, really easy to use. There's an up and down button to change the torque settings. It's a simple case of choosing which preset you want, and then again with the PRO360 app on the phone, we hold it against the NFC reader, we allow it to connect, and then we can actually set the torque and lock it onto the phone so nobody can actually mess with that when it actually goes on a production line. Same as the other models, there are maintenance reminders you can set on here. You can download the journal of all the fastenings that have happened to see if any have failed and if all are green. You also have an indicator to say whether the battery is running low. You could stop the machine if there's not enough power in the battery, in case you feel like some of the fastenings may not actually hit the torque if the battery's too low. And there's also an overheating symbol as well. So the IDS 200 really comes into its own on a solar site. Okay, whether it's mounting assembly frames, module installation, cable installation, or just general repairs and quality assurance. The machine is an all-rounder. Obviously, it's got a good torque rating, particularly good for your mounting your frames, and obviously the recording of the data that then goes back to the administrator. Again, once you've looked at the phone and the app and you see the journal of all the fastenings that have been done, you can then tick each bolt off to say that the frame has been torqued up to the correct tolerance. Okay, this is one of our newer machines in the industrial range. So this is the ISR 18V 50E. Okay, looks slightly different to the other three. Main reason being it's a screwdriver. Okay, so you've got a 1/4 inch hex head, which will obviously take different array of bits. As long as they're hex fitting, they'll all fit. You'll notice on the front there's 3 bright LEDs, great for shining on darker areas and obviously if you're working in confined spaces. It's a brushless motor, and the E in the naming actually is a precision clutch. It's an electronic clutch that's built in. The other 2 models don't have this. It's a brilliant function. It means that there's no over torquing, no over tightening. The main benefit of that in industry is the reduction on maintenance and repair of the actual gearbox. With a precision clutch built into it, it means that every time the trigger is pulled, every time a fastening is done, that clutch kicks in and it stops it before there's any over torquing. The HMI indicator is actually on the reverse of this machine, so it makes it much easier for the user, especially if you are using it facing forwards. You can then adjust all the settings as you see the back of the machine. So again, we actually have 12 settings on this machine, 12 torque settings. There's also a H mode, which basically turns the machine off torque rating and just turns it back into a regular screwdriver. So there's no auto shut off. There's also 3 custom modes. So if you know that 3 particular joints or fastenings on the line require the same torque accuracy, they can be set, customized, and you can scroll through each one of those without having to go back to the app or constantly changing the preset. Makes it a hell of a lot easier for the customer to actually use. Okay, this has an auto shut off of between 7.8 and 45 Newton meters and a max torque rating of 51 Newton meters. So this is the PRO360 app from Bosch. As you can see, it's an asset register, and you'll see already there's 2 machines loaded on there. These are the 2 machines we've already talked about, but we're going to have a look again at the ISR 18V 50E and just see some of the features that are on there. So it's a case of clicking on the asset, and then you get some information. As you can see, there's maintenance reminders, kickback control can be turned on and off, the buzzer can be switched on and off if you don't want that noise and you'd rather just have the light to show you that a torque has been hit. Your journal data will obviously show you how many fastenings you've done and whether you've had green or red. You'll then get service reminders. You can manage the asset, add a location, the name of the person who's using it. It'll also give you your product number, your serial number, the date of purchase, and you can number the inventory as well. You can add your invoice to it, and then you can also order any spare parts. So it's quite an intuitive app. If we just go back to some of the settings, one of the biggest one will be the torque adjustment lock. So as you can see, it's a toggle switch. We can switch this on and off. This basically allows the administrator to lock the torque once it's been set on the machine. So when it's handed back to an operative, they can't adjust anything on the production line themselves. Simple case of scroll on and off, and then it asks you to hold the phone to the machine, in which you'll get a notification to say that the torque has been locked. Another big feature is the maintenance reminder. So you can toggle this on and off. Again, it's quite important for an administrator to use, because it means that once the machine has hit the amount of cycles that it's due, which is normally around the 2000 mark on this machine, you can turn the maintenance reminder on. It will obviously ping a reminder to the phone to say that this now needs to go in to have certain parts replaced or serviced. You've got your custom torque levels. So again, we can toggle the switch on and off, connect it to the machine, and now you can actually set your custom torque levels. So there's three options. This can this can be something that the operative can toggle through themselves. So if they have three torque levels on the one line that they are doing, they can obviously choose 1, 2, and 3, so they're not having to use presets or going into the machine and changing any functions themselves. The journal data will show us a report, so you can enter your start date and your end date, choose a report type, whether it be PDF or Excel, and actually export that via email to yourself. That will then show you either a day's report, a week, a month, however you want to set it, of all the fastenings that have been done on that tool and the usage that it's actually had. You can turn the buzzer on and off on the back, so you can either have a sound go off if torque's been hit or missed, or you can just have a light flash. And kickback control. This basically turns the ability to stop the machine from over torquing and twisting and obviously hurting an operative's arm. That can be turned on or off depending on the application that they do.